Well, hello there, Reject Nation. Olivia's back with me today.
Thrilling.
Because we cover Avatar The Last Airbender. We cover all of it on our Patreon, watch-alongs and reaction highlights over there. And we just finished Season 2 of Legend of Korra as well. And we've had this promise for a while. We're doing The Last Airbender movie now. I am kind of excited just to see it. I've heard nothing but good things about it. You excited?
I was excited. And then allergies.
Let the allergies do the job.
Yo, it's rough.
It's not like we live together and we can't just shoot this some other day. It has to be right now. Anyway, guys, if you want the full-length watch-along for this movie reaction, you could check us out on Patreon. Become a super sexy reject today. We got a whole bunch of other stuff there, too. If you don't want to do that, leave a like. That would mean a lot.
Do you only call the people who subscribe to your Patreon super sexy?
She watches the channel. Also, subscribe and click that notification bell
make me watch the channel.
Get notified when our reaction for some other movie is up here. And thanks to the boys at Prepper for helping us edit this down. Water. Earth. I don't know what that one is.
Dust.
The Avatar was the only person born amongst all the nations who could master all four elements. With the Spirit's guidance, the Avatar kept balance in the world.
Cool.
And then 100 years ago, he just disappeared.
Book 1.
Are we gonna do all of them? That must be Katara.
A white girl.
Stop doing that stuff around me. I always get wet.
Grade A acting.
Hey, just started.
Already. Thrilled about this.
Move away from the cracks!
Let's see it.
Do not hit that spear!
Hey, I mean, it's kind of cool. They really are white, huh?
Very white. She kind of looks like Buffy the Vampire Slayer's younger sister.
Appa. I mean, cool, that's pretty cool.
He looks dead right now, but I'm sure once he actually flies, he'll still be ecstatic about it.
We need to get him back to the village.
What is this thing? It's trying to eat me!
I ran away from home. We got in a storm. We were forced under the water of the ocean.
The VFX aren't bad.
No, they're good.
What if we end up loving this movie?
I'm a little worried.
I'm a little worried we're gonna love it.
I mean, the acting is not great, but...
Something wrong?
No. Please wait here.
Feels like a 90s movie.
Like Braveheart.
Yeah. Like Steven Seagal's The Siege.
Can't be a coincidence that we break him out of the ice, light shoots into the sky, and now the Fire Nation is here with their machines.
Dev Patel Zuko?
Sokka, don't.
How'd you pronounce it?
Zuko? I thought
No,
she
no, it's Sokka.
I know, but I thought she
Suka.
said Zuko.
Bring me all your elderly!
Grandma!
Damn, they are so white.
At least there's Asian people in the village.
Who are you? What's your name?
I don't need to tell you anything.
I'm taking you to my ship. If you don't come, I'll burn down this village.
I'll go with you.
Boy, everything's happening so quickly.
It just feels that way because they're condensing a bunch of episodes.
They were looking for someone old, and they were looking for someone with the same markings the boy had. We found that boy. He's our responsibility. We should fight. What would you do if they tried taking me away?
I'd kill them all.
Sokka's so serious in this movie.
I know. He's so cute. Appa's so cute. Where's your little stuffed Appa? Appa?
What do you want with me?
My nephew wants me to perform a little test on you.
Iroh? That's Iroh.
Okay.
Weird.
It only takes a few moments and then you're free to go. Would you mind if I put a few things in front of you at the table?
Iroh. Have we been saying it wrong this whole time?
No, we were saying it right. We were saying it right.
The Fire Nation doesn't wish to live by the spirits. That's why they are so frightened by the existence of the Avatar. He will begin to change hearts, and it is in the heart that all wars are won.
I think it's in the weapons. I think it's in the nuclear bombs. Oh, are they gonna teach him how to use all the 4 elements?
No, they're running experiments on
Hope
him.
they inadvertently teach him.
You are my prisoner.
Really half-assed that scar, didn't they?
It is truly an honor to be in your presence.
Don't even try to escape.
This is a warship!
Yeah, cool little shit. Make a little circle ball. Little air ball. No, I didn't do the ball.
Don't move! We have nowhere to run!
I mean, he's got a lot.
He can fly.
Thanks for bringing Appa to me. The Fire Nation is up to something. I have to go back now.
We'll come with you.
What?
I don't understand what's happening.
We're going with you.
It's not conflicting at all for them.
Aang flew us to his home. He told us how he left there in a storm on Appa.
Why can't they pronounce anyone's name right?
Cool.
Aang airbended a sphere around them and ice formed, and he
Aang?
couldn't remember
Yeah.
anything after that.
What is happening?
Monkey Atla's gonna try and jump out and scare me at any moment. He's the teacher responsible for me.
Boy, I love the relationship building we're getting between all 3 of them.
Is it okay if you tell me your name?
The monks named me Aang. Okay, guys! Enough!
Oh my fucking god, it's Mom.
Get behind me!
Yes!
That does not look real. But yeah.
We keep them as pets.
Weren't they extinct a long time ago?
Extinct? No, there must be thousands of them on this mountain.
Your friends were monks?
I know where they are right now.
Didn't he say that when they landed?
Didn't she know it's been 100 years? What'd you guys talk about when you were on off?
I think you're in that ice for almost 100 years. Firebender started a war.
What did they talk about?
This is Monkey Atla's. I made it for him.
Some ways it's a lot darker than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Stay away from him! Stay away from him!
This feels like when a YouTuber makes a serious gritty version of it.
We've gotten no character building from any of these.
But Sokka and I can be with you as long as... Don't give up! We can do this together!
Oh, thank God. I was so worried. I'm glad they were able to pull him out of that dark hole.
I commend the Fire Lord's discipline. For example, it seems I need to remind Prince Zuko that during his banishment, he is an enemy of the Fire
It's
Nation.
inappropriate, Uncle.
I was going to make a joke, but decided not to.
Like a child wearing a costume.
One day my father will take me back, and you will bow before me.
Agni Kai!
Agni Kai!
Look at that rubber sword. I don't know what it's called. It's so rubbery.
Rubbery?
It's like bouncing like a rubber.
Oh my god, are we gonna get his sister?
Oh, that'd be great. Azula?
Queen Azula, you mean? Why is he standing like that? Do you see his
I think it's good to frame action scenes in a way where you can't see a lot of the movement. Just keep it a really tight shot.
He's like hunchbacked. He's like,
You know, my grandma thinks because you're an airbender that you could be the Avatar.
He was in ice for 100 years.
Are you the Avatar, Aang?
Oh, crap. It's tough.
What is this?
No.
Stay hidden.
If they don't make Toph blind, I'd be very upset.
It's got the green
That
outfit.
child is being arrested.
For what?
He was bending tiny stones at us from behind a tree.
Oh,
She's a bender.
another one.
Katara!
Oh, classic.
I love how they reserved all the Asian people for just villains.
I was gonna say, or the Fire Nation.
And they sent their machines. Huge machines made of metal. There's nothing we could do. Those who could not bend were allowed to live in peace. If we were imprisoned.
I'm pretty sure they're just doing like 5 minutes of each episode.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
If the Avatar had returned, would that mean anything to you?
The Avatar is dead. If he was here, he would protect us.
Well.
And I'm the Avatar. I ran away, but I'm back now.
I abandoned you all.
How is he doing that?
How is he doing that?
He's an airbender.
Earthbending's the coolest in the show. In this movie, for sure.
Don't be afraid.
It's my favorite in the show, too.
No. Air is the coolest in the show, but in this movie, Earthbending's the coolest. Why is that one Fire Nation guy just standing there waiting for his turn? Look at all the Fire Nation guys not doing nothing.
They just gave up.
They literally just left.
I guess I'm fascinated because could have been a really cool movie if done right. Like, they have everything here.
They took away any tools related to bending.
You have the Earth.
Why does Momo sound like Nosferatu? Like, it's fucking terrifying.
The Fire Nation took this scroll from a member of your water tribe.
Damn, that's convenient.
I need to tell you something.
What is it, Aang?
I ran away before they trained me to be the Avatar. I don't know how to bend the other elements.
But we saw you move that rock earlier.
They said I could never have a normal life, that I could never have a family. They said that's a sacrifice the Avatar always has to make.
Okay, so what if we found you teachers to teach you bending? Which element would you have to learn first?
And a woman. What if we found you a woman?
Take my sister. They're just gonna... Wow.
What exactly is the plot of this movie?
Wow.
I feel like
They're fast forwarding through
I feel like stuff's just happening.
They're fast forwarding through the plot of the actual show. This is fascinating.
It's just like stuff happens as this movie. It really had the potential to be something like decent. Even with its whitewashing, it had the potential to be something decent.
Yeah, that's right, Sherlock. Sherlock's even
The scroll we
not
had
happy.
was proving to be helpful. Aang was practicing, but for some reason, he was having trouble with waterbending.
Maybe because it's moving so fast.
We moved from town to town in the Earth Kingdom. We tried to stay out of sight, but Sokka became concerned we were being followed.
He became concerned? Why would you think you were not being followed? I don't understand this.
The land of Oz.
That's exactly what that looks like.
We could bring down the Northern Water Tribe city. We could show the world the true strength of fire.
I am pleased.
I'm gonna say that after sex now. I am pleased.
My son doesn't find this person first, and he turns out to be the Avatar. He would return as a hero and for all purposes be your superior.
Well, I suppose it's a race then.
What is this? The dad is kind of on his side in this show? In this movie?
I'll roll with it. It's my whole experience of this so far.
He spoke out of turn to a general in defense of some of his friends who are going to be sacrificed in a battle.
Then Prince Zuko was sentenced to an Agni Ki duel.
What is
Why
happening?
don't they pronounce anything right?
He would not fight his father.
Then his father mocked him and said, I should bring your sister up here to beat you.
Yes! Yes, this is a lot!
Father burnt his son to teach him a lesson.
Left him a very minor scar. Very minor. You can't even tell looking at it directly on right now in this moment.
He thinks if he goes to another spiritual place, he can get back to the spirit world.
I don't think that's a good idea. We started a rebellion. Try to talk him out of it.
Did you? When?
10 minutes ago. We were just time jumping like every 2 months. Every 5 minutes is every 2 months later.
What is happening?
It's actually started off like, this might not be so bad. Like, there's so much happening in this one movie. This little kid worked out for 6 months before doing this movie. Damn, Aang.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
No, it's
Once that
actually
yapping woman ain't next to him.
It's been like 6 months for him, you know? You gotta overcome your trauma.
This movie is not good.
It's better than Dragon Ball Evolution.
These are all the avatars.
I like how
Reincarnations of
they're
you
all not
over
burnt
the
in the
years.
same exact areas.
Yeah.
You will forgive me, won't you?
For what?
For luring you down here.
Okay.
Poverty because of your absence, Avatar.
Oh,
so
yes,
you will
finally.
understand my actions today.
This is actually one of the most believable parts of the movie. Is that someone's finally like, where the fuck have you been?
I know.
My life is
He doesn't
ruined.
even seem to be dealing with being gone
I
for
know.
100. She's like, I've adjusted.
You must go to the Northern Water Tribe. If they take that city, more will suffer and die as your airbenders have. You must go now.
You okay?
Yeah, it's just kind of boring.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna kill you.
I'm just gonna hurt you really,
Really?
really bad. I think aesthetically some of this shit's cool. Already? Even if we hadn't seen the show, I still think this is really rushed. This feels like nonstop
But it's
missing
even
character
worse.
beats.
It's definitely worse because I've seen the show.
Yeah, but no, I would still have the same complaints. I feel like so much is happening. They just keep skipping time.
And yet we have no character development.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
I didn't know we had white guards. Yo, that wig is wild.
I know. This is very convenient for him that was there.
It's good at the action.
I'm kind of bored.
Do not kill the Avatar! He will just be reborn again. Why are you doing this? Who are you?
That's a scary ass mask. Damn.
Open the gates. Let them out.
I feel like a bunch of people could have gotten the drop on him. Don't you have bows and arrows? Don't you have archers? Surrounding him.
They wait.
So many people over there. So many
Haven't you
people
seen?
could have gotten a job on it.
Do it.
Whoa! Why'd you wait for him to get that far?
I don't understand.
Oh my god!
Oh my!
It's Zuko!
I never would have guessed.
I mean, that guy's really good with the stick, man. He is. He's really talented at that. It's really hard to do what he's doing. That's your fault.
What is this?
You let him go like fucking 500,000 feet before launching an arrow at his face.
Aha.
I like how the action thinks it's cooler than what it is.
Yeah.
But no, he's really good with the stick twirl, the man. Probably a competitive martial artist or something. I think we moved on to season 2.
Season 3. We're in that game now.
Is this person the soldiers are calling the Blue Spirit?
Yes.
Why'd they frame the father like he's a mysterious figure we haven't
And we've
seen
already
before?
seen him.
Dude, he control fire?
I don't think they know what their powers are in this movie.
He's gone to seek out someone in the Northern Water Tribe, where they have lived beyond our reach and openly practice waterbending.
It's an abomination!
Momo looks kind of creepy.
Yeah, the animals have no personality.
Start acting like Dracula.
This looks cool, though.
That looks great. This is the North, though. Aren't they bad in Legend of Korra? It's the Moon Lady.
My brother and the princess became friends right away.
Thank you for telling us all this.
We don't have time to show you things.
We don't have time to build relate. Look at the look. That's all you're gonna get. They're in love now.
If we let too many of them into this city, their sheer numbers could overwhelm us. As many fires in this city should be put out as possible when the alarm sounds. We want to minimize their benefit.
They all look the same.
There's no boomy.
There's no booming.
Presence is our inspiration.
I'll do it. That's me. I'll be her guard. Nothing will happen to her.
They're in love. Oh, did you have that feeling?
This movie just skips over any and all character development. Just
You've seen that.
you've seen the show, right? You just want us to reference shit, right?
Water teaches us acceptance. Your emotions flow like water.
Act impulsively at all
That's what
times.
I picked up.
No rational or logical explanations for any emotion. See, Aang, you got this.
Your son died in that siege, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Again, I offer my condolences on your nephew burning to death in that terrible accident.
I've loved spending these weeks with you, Sokka.
Weeks?
My grandmother will ask you a lot of questions. Why is your hair white, young lady? You look very odd.
I would say to you, grandmother, my hair is white because when I was born, I was not awake. My mother and father could not get me to make a sound or move.
I wasn't actually asking. I was making a joke.
Dipped me into the sacred waters. My parents said that my hair turned white then and life poured into me.
That's fascinating.
You didn't tell me that.
She just did.
You didn't ask me. Only your grandmother did.
Talk to me about your grandma.
I'm rooting for that.
Zhao has no sacredness. Are you sure you want to be here?
I don't want to be here.
Not be allowed to live in peace until I bring the Avatar to my father. Is that not clear to you?
They don't think you're dead. Go start a new life. God.
Dude, this cast has no chemistry.
It's
And
pretty rough.
Like none of them feel like at all from their
What do you mean?
animated.
Feels like what?
None of them feel all from their
over the
animated counterparts, and they all just feel like flat one-note versions of something. I don't
It's
even know what they are.
Oh, is this where they fall in love?
Oh, these two especially have no chemistry.
Oh my god.
The writing doesn't even try.
Then no, you wouldn't even know that they end up together in the show because this is so dull. There's no life behind this story.
Some of these visual effects are phenomenal, though.
No, I agree.
Some of this is so good.
Fire Nation is here.
Korra is a more interesting character than all.
That says something, man. Jesus.
Sure.
I actually think this will make me appreciate Korra
The
now.
problems I have with Legend of Korra are out the window now.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Congratulations, movie solved. I'm trying not to keep comparing it to the show, but it's just as bad if you don't compare it to the show. Actually, it's worse if you compare it, but man.
Actually,
Oh my god, he found Superman's lair!
I have to talk to the Dragon Spirit. He can help me defeat the Fire Nation.
Okay.
Is there a spiritual place where I can meditate?
you've been there for weeks. And you're just asking where you can meditate? What the hell?
Some of the great monks can meditate for 4 days.
Well, we don't have that kind of time. I should have asked about this a couple weeks ago. I love this moment in the show. Remember, this is one of my favorite episodes.
I'll take you.
And her hair is not white. It's clearly a little bit pink and lavender there, but okay, whatever.
Rub his head, Katara.
I was gonna say something else, but I'm not gonna say it.
Can you hear me?
He's trying to meditate.
I love you.
Fire Lord's son. You took him from our village.
That was like 2 years ago this time.
Why don't you cool down?
My name is Katara, and I'm the only waterbender left in the Southern Water.
Why? Why are you giving him this information?
Seemed like you were confessing something to him. Like, hey, I'm trying to work with you.
That was pretty believable, considering we've not seen her progress at all.
Hey, we haven't seen anyone.
True. True.
The waterbenders get power from the moon. They will get stronger as the day comes to an end.
General Iroh, I've been keeping a secret.
I've been pronouncing your name wrong this whole time.
I found a scroll. It tells the location of the ocean and moon spirits.
To meet a spirit.
Why are they telling everything to each other?
They've successfully invaded. They had no measures to prevent that.
No issues at all, actually. Did they say if they got through the city walls? Well, there you go.
Is my makeup still intact?
Zuko's here in the city. He took Aang again.
She delivers all.
And
her
then I
lines
heard
the
him
same.
say he couldn't leave with that. I think we can convince him to be friends.
You're angry. You must let this go. As the Avatar, you are not meant to hurt others.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on any of that.
I didn't realize he was struggling with this emotion because I haven't seen any of it, so.
Do this now.
This is like a B movie with a great production.
Boy, Zuko is so dumb in this movie. Holy Toledo. That was a hurt piranha.
I love how you can tell it's obviously a stunt double
Yeah.
for Dev Patel.
Calm down. You'll find him.
Release the extended cut to stuff with character moments. Water unleashed.
Are you okay?
Dude, this Sokka guy's just coasting through scene.
No job at all. This nothing.
He's got a creepy ass face that off.
I was like, boy, when was this made? It's not good.
See where they're going. I'll go join the fight.
Okay. Do more of your practice form choreography.
We are now the gods.
No! It has begun. Has he turned evil? It's a pretty cool shot. Looks like his hand's on fire.
You can give your life back for the spirits.
Don't listen to him. He's Fire Nation.
Nothing
I
was
don't
ever
understand how this movie doesn't get better. It just like gets worse.
There are reasons each of us are born. We have to find those reasons.
If you haven't seen Avatar, you're like, who the fuck is this? Just like...
Why is he friends with them now? I don't fucking understand.
You don't know what will happen.
I believe that
No.
my life force will leave my body and return to the moon spirit.
And then
Oh, not this character I love so much.
My people are dying, Sokka. Those who are in charge of others have a responsibility. It is time we show the Fire Nation that we believe in our beliefs as much as they believe in theirs.
Can we say our vows like this?
Yeah.
No emotion, just stone face towards my mother.
I will miss you more than you know.
She's actually the best child actor out of them all.
Yeah, but he is not good.
Oh, man.
They were like, get those little
I just said that.
That's why she had the white hair. They told us that. So just showing us in this moment.
Man, Sokka was my favorite character. So in the span of like 15 minutes, they killed the fish. Moon was destroyed, turned red. She died. Moon's back. Aang had a midlife crisis about killing people.
And somehow, Iroh, what do they call here?
He cares about the spirits or something, you know? Who are these for? It's for randos?
I have no idea who they are.
Yeah. Oh my god, they straight up murdered him. Those are the 4 items he chose.
Cool.
He seemed to work so hard on all this choreography, this kid, man. Avatar state! Man, all that off-screen training really paid off. Go fight the water! Stab the water!
Where's my big tadpole? Where the fuck is my big tadpole?
They thought that would be too goofy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Really, it was about the friendship of the three of them.
that we
Watching
totally got
Katara
to
and
see
Aang hang out with each other and bond with each other. Look, it's better than Dragon Ball Evolution.
Aang and Iroh and all these other people that...
Sokka and...
and all these people that I didn't know
The only one's
existed.
name they got right was Katara.
They're gonna bow?
Now you bow. You bow.
Oh, look at the Fire Nation people.
What?
I guess this is the end of the journey.
What? Fire Nation people bow?
Oh, this could have been so powerful too, this moment, but they just did not.
Do martial arts.
Development for it.
No.
Runs away again. What the fuck?
You must stop the Avatar from mastering earth and fire. You must give us the time to get to that day.
It's 3 years. No problem.
This unspeakably important task I'm putting in your hands.
Too bad we're never gonna get her.
I do, Father.
Damn. But also, I'm glad because I feel like they would have ruined her. This explains a lot. That explains so much for me.
We did it. We did it.
Oh my god.
Kathleen Kennedy produced this. You ruined The Last Jedi.
Star Wars and now this?
You just ruined everything. They could have knocked out like half a season in their post-credit scenes.
It's so weird because at the beginning it's like you don't understand that they are going like season by season. You just assume it's all going to be covered in this one movie because they move so fast. What are they going to do about Ba Sing Se when we didn't get Jet?
This is the last movie. The last Airbender, indeed. There's no other one movie after this one. I'm excited for the Netflix show.
I was going to say, is it live action?
Yeah.
Fascinating. Oh, there's just so much potential for this to be so cool. You know, like it's always, like I said, if they wanted to do like a live action Naruto show, I think it'd be so cool if it's well done. But boy, it got worse as it was going along.
No, yeah, it just kept it is slowly. We'll talk about it. Let me just. I don't think there's a post. If there is, we're not watching it. All right. I can't tell them.
I can't do it.
All right, guys, listen. It's better than Dragon Ball Evolution, so it gets a high recommendation for me. You did not sit through Dragon Ball Evolution.
I did not.
And
I've never seen any of Dragon Ball, so.
it doesn't matter. That was a really boring ass movie. Yeah, that was like, wow, this is atrocious, and this was at least like it looked good at times, and had a kid who could do some good stick fighting. Had a really good form,
we were
man.
so obsessed with that. Why?
Just because I know what it's like to be a little kid in martial arts, and I'm watching him like, he's actually really good, and he's better than most actors who they train to be martial artists in movies, and like he was believable in the fighting, and so I was appreciative of that. It's hard to find like a little kid who can, because he had the surface cadence of Aang, you know? That, hey, what's the word I'm looking for? Not affable, kind of affable.
I didn't even get that he was affable. They're all so boring.
I know they're boring. Everyone's boring in this movie. They're terribly boring.
Like, Aang sometimes Aang in here has no personality.
There's no
and
depth
Aang,
to him, yeah.
At least Aang, while sometimes he could be like kind of stoic, it's because you know his journey. He's learning to be who he is after being frozen for 100 years. Here I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with this?
Well, Aang's I remember Aang being like kind of funny, and
yeah,
he was like he had a really big crush on Katara, and he felt like an actual like little kid, and there was a depth to him because he was really pained by the guilt he felt over abandoning
everyone,
like everything in here, but it's actually a character thing in the show. It's actually part of the show.
Yeah.
And this movie, because I did start thinking, like, I think they're just skipping character beats and moving to plot. And the second they got to, where did they get to? The Southern Water Tribe?
Mm-hmm.
The second they got to the Southern Water Tribe, and then this is the very second the voiceover, this pointless this voiceover that's clearly there just to speed things along, went, and my brother fell and got along really well with the princess. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess there's just, that is it. They just skip past character beats and just hop straight to like, we have moved this train going, man, and we got a lot of plot to cover here. We're trying to chat. We didn't want to cut anything out.
They traveled with him for how long on Appa and didn't tell him that he'd been in the thing for 100. They didn't decipher that while talking to him during their journey.
Well, the show, he learns that when he's on the boat. In the first 2 episodes, he's having the crisis there and the epiphany. And Appa's a character, Momo's a character. Here they're just like pointless animals. Well, the thing is, we could spend all day comparing this to the show. When I think anyone who's watched the show already knows how fucking atrocious of a movie this is.
There are moments.
It's just a bad movie. It's like a bad movie.
If you watch our reactions to Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show, I have a lot of criticisms with the show.
It goes up and down,
It goes up and down for me, but
there's a lot of like just fantastic episodes. It ends on a strong note.
Yeah, it's way. Even the worst episodes that I did like, I would watch 100 times over this crap.
Definitely.
Like, at the end of the day...
We should have watched this first.
Yeah, actually, I think we should have.
This show's amazing. Every level, this show is amazing.
Because I feel like I'm going to go back to core and be like, you know what, this isn't so bad. But I feel like even if I didn't watch the show, I would put this on and be bored out of my freaking mind. There's nothing to keep me interested in the characters. I don't care about any of the relationships. It jumps around so much, and the acting is almost, I don't want to say cartoony, because I feel like what we got on the show is better than what we got here.
I feel like it would have had more personality if it was cartoony. Yeah. It's just flat.
It's
really flat.
Weird. I don't like it at all. Ugh.
I mean,
no chemistry between any of the actors.
Which is so weird to me, because I'm like, you guys had a show to pull from, like the actors and M. Night Shyamalan directing his actors. There's a show to pull from for the characters, and I'm like, if you're at least make it up with good acting, and I'm like, how can you not even do that? It was so like Sokka they butchered. So to me, the one that's really butchered is Sokka.
Really, I think Zuko's destroyed here.
I at least got what Dev Patel was going for. He was kind of go for that, like, oh, I'm in pain and I'm anxious. But no, there's no threat from him.
No build up with his relationship with his uncle and how important that is. You
they
don't really understand how tension-filled the relationship with his father, because you have that scene with his father being like, don't hurt my child.
But Sokka, okay, oh yeah, the father is actually, no, yeah, I would actually say, I forget the father's name, Fire Lord. He's probably the most butchered, because
he's destroyed.
He was like intense and scary, and the way they built him up, and then when he had scenes, you were just like, this guy has no soul. Like, he is just the worst. He's a big baddie in the show, he's the one who Aang has the big showdown with in the end. And here he's just like he's weak. He seems weak. He just seems like a dude who's in a royalty position but is ultimately weak. And but with Sokka, what really upset me is, like, he's not funny. A big part of Sokka is,
boomerang.
He's got the boomerang.
He's got the boomerang. It's so funny, and he tries to fight with the boomerang. And
well, he's a good strategist. He's a navigator, and what makes him really likable is he's not one of the benders, but you see how necessary he is and how funny he is. And in here, this guy's like just weirdly just wide-eyed and serious the whole time. Like, what? Why couldn't you just make him funny? Just make him funny. What's hard about that? Just try to make him a little funny. And they didn't feel like brother and sister. Katara, I mean, they're all ruined. They're all, when you compare them to the show, they're all ruined. They're all ruined. And I'm glad that I was able to. I'm glad that we waited a little bit after watching Avatar, because. Like, we like Korra. The second season's a little weak, but if we had to watch this right after Avatar, I think this would have been just a nightmare to sit through.
I think I would have just bashed the holy hell out of this.
Yeah, but this at least allowed us some space to like objectively watch it without it being like because in the first 10 minutes I was going, oh shit, I'm worried that I'm gonna like this movie. I was a little nervous then, like, this isn't actually as terrible as I thought.
Visually it was pretty and you're like getting into the world, but as it goes on,
it had a bit of that wonder to it, and then you're just getting adjusted, and then it literally just slowly, yet the movie is doing so much, but it is slowly descending into just the worst mess.
Yeah.
Where by the time I'm like, why are we here at the Southern Water Tribe? And how did like, it doesn't feel like we built up to this battle at all. And they just skip past, like, a lot of scenes start and just like they cut away from them. They just like cut away from them when they start.
Or they narrate the rest of the scene for you.
There's no real beginning, middle, and end to things. It's just like shit happens. That's the definition of this movie. Is stuff happens. And then we get here. Because when you think about all you've covered, from Aang waking up to getting kidnapped to escaping to then freeing earth-bending villages. Like, what the hell's going on? Spanning that, getting captured again, Zuko, and then like they shoved so much in, and it just doesn't flow.
The blue spirit, they shoved that in, and that goes for a while in the show because you know it's Zuko, but like it's built up. Here it's just like, oh, they know who it is immediately. It's just
well, it's a conflict where you're like, is Zuko gonna be good or bad? You know, is Zuko doing this because he's good? Like, Zuko was someone who, like, I would go back and forth between liking and just absolutely hating, and and then by the third season,
Puko,
I was like,
remember I called him Puko?
Yeah, you hated the living hell out of him.
Hated
And then by the third season, he was like, oh, this guy's great. Yeah, he's great
Puko.
ending with the guy. So yeah, I mean,
but you know what? Actually, I'm really mad that they butchered that ending fight, because in the first season,
hold on a second, I'm gonna turn off the AC because I gotta put this on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Just wait for it to turn off. Sorry. Just wait.
Boy, I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm fucking hungry.
I got that acai bowl for you.
Thanks. Got me with Anissa too. Man. Why is it not turning off?
Because it just turned on. I don't know why it just turned on, because it's boiling here.
It's the room.
Jesus Christ. I can't
There's
wait.
lack of air here, the carpet, that blows heat.
I can't wait to move.
Why do you think I'm always like, turn the AC on? Yeah, always telling you. Alright, here we are. So go take it from, like, you were upset by the fight.
Yeah, so I'm really upset the more I think about it, how that fight went at the end. Because in the finale of the first season, that is so visually stunning. I remember not really being into the show up until the last few episodes, and that was when I was like super into it, because I thought visually
Was
you
that
get the
season
whole.
one?
I think it was.
Okay, cause,
Season 2 is Bossing Say.
season 2 is when it ends with Zuko betraying
Pissing me off, yeah.
Zuko betraying Katara. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the season 1, I remember that's when it really gripped me, because I was like, oh, they're doing a real combination of the spirit world and this, and visually it was just so beautiful. And that was the one moment I remember being, okay, I really do like this show. And they fucking just ruined it here, and you don't get any of that visual spirit world mending with Aang or Aang or whatever you want to call him in here. The more I think about it, come here, baby, come here, to Mama. We hated this. We hated this. Furiosa, very mad at it, very mad, angry.
Anyway. Yeah, movie's terrible. Everyone's like you can literally sum it up with the action is mediocre, and it's rushed. They try jam packing too much, and every character is flat. And then if you compare the characters to the show, that's even worse.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying you need to do the show. It's just do something interesting if you're going to change, but they don't. It's so bizarre because they don't change the characters. No. They just go, what are some traits they have? Let's just remove all of them and just give them this one and just move with that. Like, Iroh was awesome in the show, man. And here I thought they might do something interesting with him. Like, Iroh's like your chubby uncle who appears lazy at first, but oh no, he's actually a skilled dude. And this guy looks like
remember that scene
the kind of yoga.
Buff?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. That's like a big deal when he got all buff because they're like, oh shit, Iroh's in shape. But here, this dude seems like the kind of like yoga teacher who would bang the students. Like,
that hot daddy. And you're like, ooh, I got daddy issues. I like him. That's what it seems like.
And he calls him uncle, but you never get the sense of the uncle and the dad having like there's a tension between them as brothers. There's so much missing variables here. And what's wrong?
Watson's awake.
Oh, good. We're just talking. Come here, buddy.
Watson's awake.
And I don't know. It's just so easy to like. Literally, it's just boring too. It's a boring movie.
Yeah.
It's really boring, and that's the worst thing you can do. Like,
there's no life in this movie.
At least I can.
At least give us comedy.
I can always settle for it's bad, but it's so fun. Like, I could at least settle for that. But once you reach boring territory, then I'm like, ah, damn it, movie. Why'd you have to go boring on me? Because, it's not even, because it doesn't quite, it reads flat instead of super cheesy, and if you just went like super cheesy, that would have been enough. Just at least commit to being over the top cheesy. But didn't do that. Look at him, he just laid there.
I know, I'm so happy.
That's quiet. He just laid there. He didn't come in here like, what's he doing in here?
I know.
He just, that's all. That's because I used the whole bottle of Quiet Moment spray all over this house. I had a fan and everywhere. Look at him. Look how tired he is.
The AC system.
Look how tired he is.
He's so sleepy.
He's so tired.
All right.
Oh, see, we don't need to give you any pills. You just need to spray that shit. Anyway, I feel like we can go scene by scene and talk about how this was butchered, especially compared to the show, but it's really easy to sum it up. This is not a good movie, and everything is bad, except some of the technical stuff, like some of the visual effects. Some of the music's good, and
it's fine.
But none of that ever compensates for the actual scenes. It's void of emotion.
The actual story's missing from here. It's just...
Yeah, and I wonder... what makes me so curious is if you've never seen Avatar, like what is this movie to you when you watch this? I can't imagine. I feel like people might be a little confused at certain moments of just keeping up with a bunch of
bored. They're bored.
Like okay, I'm just you're titling things and saying where you are, but I don't know what this is. Like, I don't know what's happening, really. Like, even for me, I'm like, wait, what's the plot of this movie? I had to remind myself of the show of, oh yeah, he needs to like learn the elements. It's so disjointed and so not focused.
And
it is all over the place.
I don't want to be wrong in this, but I think I'm right. In the first season, the whole reason why the Fire Nation wanted to get rid of the moon spirit was because their powers were weakened during the during that full moon, I thought. That's the whole reason. That's not even mentioned here. It's just like, we don't like the moon spirit. Stab the fish.
Well, it's because the waterbenders are stronger when they have the moon, with the moon. So they were like, let's eliminate the moon.
Yeah. But the waterbenders lose all their powers when the moon, and here. When it was played up in the show, I thought that the Fire Nation specifically lost. They were not able to use their power during certain moments. Or is that Sozin's comment? I don't remember.
It's Sozin's comment. That's the comment.
I thought they're supposed to be more powerful during the comet.
But the comment's not into play here at all.
I know.
Tackle my sweater. Yeah.
Why did that fall on me? I don't know. It's missing development, clearly. I don't know how many times would they say that. It's just not good.
I guess it's funny. We see Dragon Ball is one of those movies where you're like, you clearly didn't even watch the show. Like it's so obvious you didn't watch the show. And what's odd to me is like, I feel like you guys watched the show because this is all from the show. So, and there are looks that are directly pulling from the show, and I just don't understand how no one stepped in to be like, how do you not? Do you realize what you're skipping over here? Like,
do you know what this is to me? And you said it perfectly. I told you about that client I would work with who would love to listen to me read descriptions of movies from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And I would just read the plot description. That's what this entire movie is. It's like if you just took out all the personality and character and just plot description from Wikipedia. If you had someone reading it and you're in your mind visualizing what's happening, it would be this. That's what this movie is.
A big part of the show is, with Aang, is him struggling to develop all his abilities, especially with fire. And it's like, is he gonna be ready in time for when the moment comes? You know, when he really has to fight the Fire Lord. And here it's like he's got a little bit of like, it's like he's got the water down, but he's like, I'm a little scared. Like that's what it is. He's like, oh my god, I got a slight bit of trauma here. I don't want to deal with it. But for the most part, he's got like a great handle on everything, so it never feels like anything's at stake. There's like zero stakes in this film.
At certain points, he has this whole weight of him being the only one who could save the world on him, and you feel that in the show. And here it's just blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm gonna just goes by.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah, this is so not focused, and the bottom line is you can't tell a season's worth of television in 2 hours. There's not even 2 hours, and you can't tell a season's worth of television in 2 hours. And you can't tell a season's worth of television in 3 hours. Like, you shouldn't have told this much story. You just shouldn't have done this much. Plain and simple. You shouldn't have done all this.
Yeah.
You just can't introduce a bunch of plots without. It's like you got to focus on something. Something has to be the focus. And bottom line is like you just. It usually doesn't work to develop a show into a movie. 9 times out of 10. Especially with like things like they're so rich in lore and everything, because then you feel like the need to. I gotta include some of this. Like earthbending was so unimportant to this story.
My God.
You could have removed it. It was so unnecessary.
That whole scene was unnecessary. So stupid.
Yeah, I don't get the point of like.
And there are moments where the fire people are literally just standing in the back waiting their turn to fight. Oh, he lost. Okay.
Oh yeah, Fire Nation doesn't seem like a threat at all.
Okay, who's next? Oh, my turn to go up there. I'm like, what is happening? It's so bad.
All right, guys, I don't want to talk about this movie
I don't
anymore.
either. I'm so bored.
You follow some Patreon for all the other things that we like to cover. But thanks for being here. At least we finally watched this shit. Bye.